Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Hospital, the podcast that tells the story about health, the way we live it. I'm Dr. Wahid Awonuga, and today's episode is not just a topic, it's a story that still weighs heavily on my heart. Let me take you back to one morning at the outpatient department of the Connaught Hospital. It was a very bright Monday morning, and I was called for a patient. It was a young woman, about 19 years old, who was wheeled into the outpatient department. This patient was restless, agitated, and breathing very fast. The eyes were wide open and moving all around. At first glance, you might think it was a mental health emergency. She couldn't sit still. She kept shouting, splashing water off her skin, and screaming. Whenever we brought a cup of water near her lips, she seemed terrified. I realized she was terrified of water. And that's when a thought came to my mind that this must be rabies. I turned to the family. Has she been bitten by a dog recently? Their faces dropped, and they admitted that she was bitten by a dog 3 months prior to coming to the hospital. They said it was just a small wound, and the dog ran away afterwards. And they cleaned it with water, and they also applied some local medications there. They never visited the hospital, and they had no vaccine, they had nothing. 3 months later, she was in our hospital dying. I told them urgently that this patient needs to be admitted immediately. But as we see some cases, they refused. Their response shocked me. They said they would be going to the church. One of the family members, who is her aunt, insisted that no, it's a spiritual attack. And they left. That night, she came back. And the nurses told me that by the time she came, that she was in a very, very serious situation and the rabies had taken full control. This patient was convulsing, foaming at the mouth and screaming. And she was even hallucinating. She could barely do anything that was normal. And just like that, she died. In less than 24 hours from the onset of symptoms, she died. Now, what is rabies really? Rabies is one of the deadliest diseases known to humans. It is caused by a virus that attacks the brain and the nervous system. And once the symptoms begin, it is almost 100% fatal. Let me say it plainly. Once rabies symptoms show up, there is no cure. There is no turning back. The virus lives in the saliva of infected animals, and it's mainly spread through bites or scratches. Dogs are the number one source, especially unvaccinated dogs, which roam freely in many parts of Sierra Leone and other parts of Africa. Now, here is what most people don't know. The bite might be small or barely noticeable. You might feel completely fine for weeks or even months. But the virus is traveling slowly, quietly through your nerves, heading straight to the brain. And when it gets there, that's the end. It's over. Now, what are the signs and symptoms to watch out for? In the early stages, it can mimic malaria, or maybe you're just having a bad fever. It starts with headache, weakness, fever, and there might even be itching around the bite. But when it escalates into confusion, hallucination, someone is talking, saying things that are irrational, and one has this fear of water, which we call hydrophobia, or inability to swallow. The patient is having seizures and even paralysis. Then the next thing is death. The moment water touches the tongue of this patient, you begin to see their muscles. They go into muscle spasms. And the victims scream at the sight of water. It is one of the hallmark signs of rabies. Now, rabies in Sierra Leone, why is it like an hidden epidemic? Let's get some home truth on this. We have thousands of stray dogs walking freely in our towns and villages. Dog bites are common, but most people don't go to the hospital. Traditional treatment with herbs or incisions is still widespread. Many don't even know a human rabies vaccine exists. Rabies is underreported in Sierra Leone, but the deaths are happening quietly, often at home. And some people can blame them on spiritual attack. It's not attack, this is not spiritual attack. How do we prevent it? Now, we can prevent it. There are prevention for dogs and there are prevention also for humans. For the dogs, if you own a dog, it is important that you vaccinate it every year. The first dose for the dog is given at 3 months of age. Then you can get booster doses every 12 to 36 months. Vaccines are available in Sierra Leone. At least you can get it at Congo Cross. There's a medical center at Congo Cross where you can get these vaccines. And you can also get it from some private vet hospitals. Now, you can also ask your local health officer on how you can go about getting vaccine for your dogs. And it's also important that you keep your dogs in a fenced compound or put them on a leash. You can put something around the dog so this dog can be kept and protected from getting to other people. Then avoid the dogs roaming all about. For humans, after any bite or scratch, where dog bite you, or even scratch no more the dog scratch you, wash the wound with soap and running water for at least 15 minutes. That is to say, when you see dog bite you, or he scratch you, or you pick him, now for worse, that's I put them under the tap with the run for 15 minutes. Then go immediately to a hospital or health center. Now for care that picking or take yourself, go to the hospital or health center. That day you receive what they call the post-exposure prophylaxis vaccine. Now, this is a series of 4 to 5 injections, which is given over the course of 2 to 4 weeks. You can get them na medical store na New England. When you go na medical store na New England, before you go na that police station within na New England, you meet the medical store before you go na New England, just after that international school. You can go there directly, let you go take this vaccine. If this vaccine you take them early, it can save your life. If you work with animals, if you're not a person where you work with animals or you're exposed, you can also take this pre-exposure vaccine, which is a preventive measure, especially when useful for people who are vets, the doctor where they deal with animals, person when a hunter, where they go na bush, or person where they do animal control, like people where they work na Takugama, chimpanzee sanctuary, animal control workers. And even children, when you say children and bokuna the community, they can also get what they call pre-exposure. They not get bite too, but they can get pre for prevent them against the rabies. Now, there are some lesser known facts about rabies. Some things then they way people they not ever know. Now, these are some of the things we will surprise you. Number 1, bats, they can also carry rabies. I don't know what they call bats nasalo, pancreas, but bats, we see so, they can also carry rabies. In other parts of the world, some people they don't die just from bat way scratch them no more. They don't die as a result of rabies infection. Now, children where they under 15, now they make up nearly 40% of rabies deaths. For people who don't die of rabies, now children they where they under 15, because now they can play with dogs them, and often they not can report say dog bites them or dog scratch them. Cows, then people then where they rear cattle. Cows they can also carry rabies. So we find the farmers, let them beware, or the one them where they deal with cows down. Some people have died even from being licked on a broken skin by an infected animal. It is not just bite. Not to bite no more. Some people will let them just lick. That's how we get wound or we get soft foot. it can lead to rabies infection. Now, most health centers na salon, they not can stock rabies vaccine regularly. So e fine for let you know say prevention is very key and very important. Now, for me, we don't see anything in the first hand. Rabies, not to spiritual attack, not to myth, not to then say. It is not a village story. It is not just small dog and small dog no more. It dey kill fast and silent. And na final, the girl wey me been see na the hospital, e no get no need for die. This death yaso, like many others, was completely preventable. If you've been bitten, scratched, or licked by a dog, no matter how small, don't gamble with your life. Wash the wound, get to the hospital and ask for rabies vaccine. Or you wey dog don bet or dog don lick, don't gamble with your life. Wash with water, then go na the hospital for let you go get the rabies vaccine or carry am go na medical store. And if you have a dog, be responsible. Vaccinate it, confine it, protect others. You must be responsible. For anybody where they keep dog, fine for you show responsibility by making you protect the dog from other people there. You might just be saving someone's life by doing this. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Hospital with Dr. Waheed Awonuga. I believe this episode has blessed you. Please share with other people. Send it to your family WhatsApp group, to your community leaders, to that neighbor we get 10 dog them where you not ever vaccinate. Send to them. Let them know say rabies dey and rabies dey kill. Together, let's end rabies in Sierra Leone, because no one whatsoever should die from bites with preventable. Until next time, you are more than just a diagnosis. Thank you.